Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Every week I come into your life to multiply your life, your money, and your business. And I know what it's like to shut it down on the holidays, lose some of your mojo and swag, and try to crank it back up. And how hard that can be when you've decompressed, when you've contracted, when you've relaxed. Today on this show, I'm going to teach you how to get your mojo back, how to get back in a flow, how to get your confidence back once you've been off for the holidays. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, and you're here at the Greatness Factory. Hey guys, this is Coach Micheal Burt. I am so glad you joined me for Super Coach. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have, make you do some things you don't want to do, help you become something you didn't think you could become. You see, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. You can't reach your own potential without the help of another person helping you break through those ceilings of success. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and I'm going to find the kryptonite in your life, and I'm going to do it on this show, Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, Super Coach, live from the Greatness Factory. As you decompress at the end of the year and you get ready to crank this engine up again, I was thinking this over the holiday break. I was like, man, it'd be great to do a show on how to get your mojo back after the holidays. And so that's what we're going to talk about today on Super Coach. Every week, multiplying life, multiplying money, multiplying business, live from the Greatness Factory here. And I want to talk to you about 3 states. And we talk a lot about this in our coaching program, but there are basically 3 states that you're operating in at any time out there in the world. You are either rejuvenated, which means you are alive, you are on fire, you are motivated, you are feeling good, or you're in what's called a mechanical state. You're going through the motions. You're agitated. You're irritated. You're tired. You're burning that candle really, really hard. And if you burn that candle for too long, what happens? You end up in the burnout state. Burnout means you've lost all joy and passion for what it is you do. Now, I was telling my team this morning, at the end of a long basketball season, okay, I would take a sabbatical. And a sabbatical was a time off. I had spent 10 months, 80-hour work weeks, going as hard as we could possibly go. I was tired. I was irritated. I was agitated. I had pushed as hard as I could possibly push, and I needed a break. I was down here, mechanical to burnout mode. Now, you're going to hear people say, I don't believe in burnout. There's no such thing as burnout. I disagree with that because here's the deal. There are times that you lose all joy or passion. You eat banana pudding every day for 10 years, you eventually get tired of eating it. So the purpose at the end of the year is to get you back to a rejuvenated state. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, okay? So I want you to think of your deal just like a basketball. There's a preseason, there's an in-season, and there's a postseason. Just like in our basketball season, there was a time that we were getting ready to perform. There was a time we were performing. And then there was a postseason, which was a time for us to basically recalibrate, get our mind right, relax, get our systems up and going again, reflect. And that's how I kind of see December at the end of the year, is whether you think about it or not. I don't care all the people that push up until the 31st. I'm one of those people that push as hard as I can up until the 31st. But let's face it, folks, most of the world shuts it down during this period of time. So I want you to think of this: preseason, in-season, postseason. And so we teach a concept called the entrepreneurial time system from a guy named Dan Sullivan. And we say this: there's 3 types of days. There's a free day, there's a focus day, and there's a buffer day. There's an on-stage day, there's a backstage day, and there's an off day. So typically at the end of the year, I do the same thing a lot of pastors do. I go on sabbatical. I decompress. I take a break. I rest my mind, my heart, my spirit, my emotions. I basically shut it down. I ask myself this question. I'm looking for clarity. I'm looking for what I want to do in the next year. I'm evaluating. I'm asking, did it work? Did it not work? We pushed hard, man. We pushed hard. Now what we're trying to do is build some momentum. And so just like a basketball season, there's a preseason, okay? There's an in-season, there's a postseason. Or when you're looking at your days, I'm on stage, I'm backstage, and I'm off. Now, let me tell you why you need the off time. And don't let any guru out there fool you about this. No performer in the world performs 365 days a year. I don't care who they are. I don't care how much energy they've got. Tony Robbins is not on stage 365 days a year. Any great athlete is not on stage 365 days a year. Garth Brooks doesn't sing 365 days a year. They rest, they practice, and they play. They rest, they practice, and they play. They're off stage, they're backstage, and then they're on stage. So when you're trying to get your mojo back here at the end of the year, I'm going to give you some permission to decompress a little bit, to reflect on your year, and to really get clarity about what it is you want to do in 2017. It's okay. I'm giving you permission. Now, you're going to hear me at the same time say you got to push hard. You got to push across the finish line. I believe that. But the reason you need the rejuvenation, remember the states, the reason you need the rejuvenation is because this means to make young again. It's to rekindle the fire. It's to get you mojo and swag back. It's to reclaim your confidence. It's to recommit to your purpose. So if you're out there in the world, here's what you got to understand about momentum, and then I'm going to get to some kryptonite. As you finish the year, you're trying to do two things. You're trying to finish across the line. Don't limp across the finish line. Don't limp across the finish line. So you're trying to push as hard as you can across the finish line, right? But because you're building momentum into the new year. So I want you to understand these concepts, okay? You're in season, your postseason, your preseason, right? Momentum is just energy headed in one direction or another. Momentum is just energy headed in one direction or another. So remember these two things. An object at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. That's Newton's law, right? Well, what about this? When you're in motion and you're in energy and you're engaged, what's happening to you? What's happening to you? You're moving. You're moving the ball down the field. But when you stop for the holidays, what happens? An object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. Once you lose momentum, then you got to crank the engine up again. So let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here in this first segment, okay? You're in a funk right now of dissatisfaction from the last year, and you can't seem to shake it. See, part of the reason you're in a funk, okay? Maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maybe you're tired of the results you got. Maybe you don't like the direction you're going. Maybe you don't feel good that you just didn't get where you wanted to go this year. Here's the deal. The word January means new beginning. It means new start. It means fresh. It came from the Greek goddess Janus. She had one head that looked forward to the future and one that looked back to the past. She could reflect on the past and look forward to the future. There's a natural break, okay? So I'm giving you permission during this time of season to step back, to ask what you like, what you don't like, what you're going to continue, what you're going to stop, what you're going to start. But what I got to do is I got to get you back in a forward posture and an offensive mobility. And you may need some time away. Why do you think entertainers take the winter off? You very seldom see entertainers performing in December and January. Because what have they done? They've gone on the road for 180 days, man. They hadn't played 365, but they've been on the road a lot. And they're tired, and they're in mechanical mode. Everybody's got to find a way to rejuvenate and get their mojo back. And that's what we're going to be talking about when we come back in segment number 2. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Gone are the days where you just buy a book. When you pre-order my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, my 11th book, my most comprehensive book, let me tell you what I'm going to give to you the minute you pre-order. I'm going to give you 5 hours of coaching from me on the book. I'm going to give you access to Monster Producer, my biggest coaching program, online, live, every 30 days for 6 months. I'm going to give you access to my Total Growth Academy, over 400 coaching sessions. I'm going to give you 7 webinars with me where you can interact with me on every chapter of the book. Go get Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. CoachBurt.com/new book. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. Welcome back to Super Coach. I got some comments here from folks I want us to give a shout out to. Jason Fraker, batteries included. Richard Neese, my man, said having a hard time being comfortable, resting, and rejuvenating. I get it, man. Go back and read my blog about pushing, about domination, growth, and being content at the same time. Brandon Patrick, welcome to Monster Producer. Belinda shows Aaron to playing with the beautiful grandbaby. That's right. Tammy Lane Coleman, work, and then we rest. I got questions from different folks. Beth Goddard, Roy Frazier, Don Borgeson, Brian Chalmers, Tom Farrell, Tim Hooper. Good to see everybody. Hey, you guys get it. You're motivated. You're on fire. You want to finish the year strong. I'm telling you to, man. Don't misunderstand me. I'm telling you to push as hard as you can push. But I'm also telling you that your body, your mind, your heart, your spirit needs a break to rejuvenate. See, the reason we need vacation, the reason we need to vacate is to rejuvenate. The word rejuvenate means to make young again. So when you're thinking about this, why would you lose your mojo? Why would, if you felt like you're a little bit stuck here at the holidays? Remember what I said earlier. An object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. See, up until the holidays, you had motion. You had energy. You had rhythm. Once you stopped, an object at rest stays in motion unless acted on by an outside force. You had motion. You stopped the motion. Now, I'm giving you permission that that's okay, man. Because I'm telling you, if you use that entrepreneurial time system, you're on stage, you're backstage, you're off stage. And I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Garth Brooks. They can tell you anything they want to tell you. They are not on stage every second of every day. They rest, they practice, they perform. Okay? That's just the natural flow of life. Even me, I'm not on stage every single day. I rest, I practice, I play. Here's the deal. I was sick as a dog on Christmas Day. I didn't even get to go see my family on Christmas. I was throwing up. I was sick. I was completely out of commission. I lost all of my swag because, man, I was just so run down and tired and sick that and you can put yourself into that state. And so why would you lose your mojo, which is your confidence, okay? Number one, you lost your momentum. Momentum is energy. You know, I'm an old basketball coach, right? And I would tell you winning is a game of momentum. Who holds the momentum long enough period of time? You were in motion and then you halted. Okay, so remember, when you take this break at the holidays, you're getting ready to crank this engine back up and go back into motion. An object in motion stays in motion unless what? Unless acted on by an outside force. When you halted, you were able to step back. And when you step back, you started asking, do I really need to work this hard? What's the problem here? What about this one? You are no longer in the rat race. Now, what happens when you step back from the rat race? Okay, what happens when you step back from the rat race is you start asking questions. You're no longer, we are such creatures of habit. And when we're creatures of habit, we just go. We go. And then we take a break and then we stop and we look and we go, is there a better way to do it? Can we be more effective? Do I enjoy doing this? Am I having any fun? Are we making any money here? Is it working? Is this part of my calling? You start asking yourself these questions when you have time away. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because sometimes, yes, you do need to work that hard. You do need to push this hard. So when you think about it, why would you lose your mojo? Think of mojo as momentum in any area of your life. You lose your mojo when you lose momentum. And you never want to be on the wrong side of momentum. It's like being on the wrong side of things. So when you think about it, your mind begins to wonder. And when your mind starts to wonder, here's the questions you start asking. Number one, do we really have to work this hard? Do we really have to work as hard as we're currently working? Number two, is there an easier way that we can do this? Can we get from point A to point B in an easier way? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Number three, can I make money without exerting so much energy? And number four, is it all worth it? I'm sure you've asked yourself this question before. Is all of the pushing, is it all worth it? At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you it is worth it. Okay? Is it all worth it, what you're doing, because you're trying to make an impact in the world? You also begin to question these things. What is life all about? Especially when you get above 40 years old, you start asking questions. What is life about? What is my purpose on earth? What am I doing? Okay? Why do I have so much but feel so empty? Maybe something that you're struggling with, okay? You begin to question everything you do. Is this a high value of your time? Is this a low value of your time? So what's happening here at the end of the year is you're really doing all of this reflection. Now, here's what I would tell you. In my life, when I take time off, I rest, I practice, I play. Because here's the concept, and I want to speak to some of the folks that are out there. Shane Ray asked a question just a few minutes ago, and I couldn't get to it, but here's the deal. When you play, when you perform, you want to perform at the absolute maximum level that you can. You see, I've got Garth Brooks tickets here in February to see Garth Brooks in Memphis, and here's what I know. During those 2 hours, the reason I'm going to watch Garth Brooks is because I want to see him perform. I'm taking a notebook, and I'm going to take notes on how well he performs. Well, guess what? He's playing at a peak level when he performs for 2.5, 3 hours max. Then he's going to turn around and do it again. He's got 2 shows in one day. But he couldn't do it for 24 straight hours. He couldn't do it for 8 straight hours. He peaks up and he peaks down. Athletes, the Titans, bad example because they don't peak up much. But here's the concept. They rest on Monday. They practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. maybe Friday, maybe they take off Saturday, and they perform on Sunday. And the whole concept is they're going to peak up. Well, what happens when you peak up every day? What happens when you peak up every day? I had teams as a basketball coach that peaked too early. I'd push them so hard in the preseason that by the time we got in season, we were playing at a championship level in the middle of the summer. And I would look great. I'd go kick everybody's butt in the summer. People go, my God, man. By December, my players were tired. They were exhausted. They had already been at full speed in the middle of the summer. Now, Phil Jackson used to teach his teams how to conserve energy because he said this is an 82-game season. So what they would do is they'd play at a performance, and then they'd peak up and win the game, and then they'd peak back down because he said this, they can't play at that peak level 82 games a year and in the playoffs. He was teaching them to conserve energy. So what I'm trying to get you to think about is, why did you lose your mojo at the end of the year? Well, you got out of a rhythm, you got out of a routine, you lost your momentum, and now you're trying to start it back. But guess what? Some of that momentum you had may have been headed in the wrong direction. It may have been wasted. You ever had a person that has a bunch of nervous energy? They got a lot of energy, but it's real nervous energy. It's like all over the place, right? And it's not concentrated energy. And you're like, man, you got a lot of energy, but it's all over the place. Well, you may decide during this off season, right now, that you got a lot of energy headed in the wrong direction. And you need to recycle that energy into a better direction. And that's what we're talking about. So let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here in this segment, okay? Now, here's the kryptonite to get you out of here, if I can find it, right? Your future isn't exciting enough to get on board with. Okay, you see this as more of the same. You're not excited right now. You can't even get excited about the future because you see 2017 just looking like a big old helping of 2016. I want you to come back fresh, alive, vibrant. I want you to come back just like a good pastor has sabbatical so he doesn't burn out. He comes back fresh and vibrant and alive. And if you're in a mechanical state, if you lost some of your mojo, if you lost some of your confidence, if you lost some of your momentum, now is the time to reclaim it so you can put a stake in the ground and come back in 2017 and be the best you've ever been. I got one more segment with you. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, and I get asked all of the time, what does a good coach do? See, a good coach should engage you in a set of systematic behaviors that allows you to do something tomorrow you can't do today. They should find and fill your missing structures. They help you break through that ceiling of success that you can't break through on your own. And that, my friend, is why everybody needs a good coach in life. Check out Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. Hey guys, welcome back, Super Coach. Final segment. Looks like we got to wake up our Apple computer. Looks like he lost all of his mojo today. Let me address some of the folks that are on here. Richard T. Neese. Is this the customer that will write me the largest check for my talent? I hope so, big guy. That's the way you got to think. Ivan Velasquez. Coach, can you get back momentum? Absolutely, man. I've won. I've lost. I've been on the wrong side of momentum. Jason Seiler, good to see you. Tim Hooper, great motivation and insight. Thank you, big guy. Jeremy Wegner, good to see you. Nancy Thompson, love you up there in Louisville, Kentucky. Good to see you. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy that Total Growth Academy. We're so glad to have you. If you haven't checked out my Total Growth Academy, I think we're still running a special on that for people that are out there, right? 60% off, $39.60. You can get coaching anywhere, anytime in the world. And if you haven't picked up my new book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, you got to get it, man. You got to pick it up because all the freebies that we're given. How do you get your mojo back? What if I told you, you hear this a lot, you become a sum average of the 5 people you hang around most? A lot of times you get into a rut, you get stuck, you get plateaued because of who you're hanging around, right? So what can this break do for you? Let me show you what the break can do for you. Number one, helps you reflect. Self-awareness is critical. Self-awareness is critical. Helps you reflect. Number two, helps you recalibrate on your true dominant focus. The break is good for you because it can help you say, look, man, let's get clarity about what we want to do in 2017. Okay? It can recenter you on what matters most. Can remind you why you got into this to begin with. Why did you get into this to begin with? Here's all the things the break can remind you. You get out of this mechanical mode. You get out of this mode where you just feel stuck and you feel in a rut. Okay? How do you get your mojo back? Okay? Allow yourself to decompress. really reflect. Number 2, get clarity and laser-like focus on the dominant aspiration. Get clarity on the dominant aspiration. Get inspired and then get motivated. And there is a difference, guys, between getting inspired and getting motivated. The word inspiration means to breathe life into. You can get inspired by watching this show. You can get inspired by reading a book. You can get inspired when you're out in nature. You can get inspired by a great phone call. But inspiration is where an idea has a hold of you and it tries to take you to a place where you desperately want to go. Motivation is where you have a hold of the idea and you see that idea through to its logical conclusion. When you come back in 2017, I got to get you focused on high value activity. I got to get you focused in on what's the highest use of your time. So to get your mojo back, you may have to take a sabbatical. You may have to get around somebody who's got more mojo than you. You may have to reach up a little bit, okay? So know this. There's a time and season for everything in life. There is a time and season for everything in life. I believe 100% God has called you to do big things, not small things. I believe you were formed in your mother's womb for greatness. You may not have stepped into your destiny yet. You may not be ready to step into your destiny yet, but you were called to greatness. Just study David in the Bible. Just study Joseph. Just study how it took him 13 years, 10 trials to step into his destiny, from his dream to his destiny. 2017 is going to be a big year for you, but here's what I know. What got you here won't get you there. Every significant breakthrough we've ever had was first to break with an old way of doing business into a new way of doing business. I think this is the time, if you're going to decompress, this is the time to step back and look at what you're doing and ask, is it working? Is it time to recalibrate? Is it time to rethink your strategy? Is it time to take those 2.2 millimeters of strategy change, right? So just remember, January means new beginning. You got a fresh start. You got a clean slate. You know, in our sales goals, they restart every 30 days. Every 30 days, we start over with zero. Doesn't matter what we did last month. Don't matter what we did last year. We get a fresh slate every 30 days. Every day you wake up, you start over. You got a fresh slate. Don't ever let your past hold your future hostage. This is why we're going to need accountability in 2017. This is why we need accountability. Number 1, we all start with good intention. For some reason, we fall off the wagon. Lack of self-discipline, lack of follow-through, lack of structure, lack of willpower, lack of whatever. We all start with good intention. Hey, January is going to be a time of change. We're going to get better. We're going to improve, right? The average person will make the same New Year's resolution 10 separate times. A person that has a heart attack in this country, only 1 out of 7 will change one thing after they've had a heart attack. Even if the doctor says you're going to die if you don't change. The reason we need accountability in our lives is because we all start with good intention. We fail to follow through, and then we feel guilty about it. I don't want you to feel guilty in 2017. I want 2017 to be the biggest monster year you've ever had. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of here. You understand seasons and have taken this time to take stock of your performance. You're ready for a new opportunity. You have a demonstrated capacity. You know, when I was planning this out last night, I was going back reading the parable in the book of Matthew, the parable of the Lord of Jesus giving the 3 people talents. And when it said you took those talents and did something with them, okay, because you were faithful with few, you're going to get more. What that means in there is you have a demonstrated capacity. You have shown with your actions that you can take the talents you've got and you can go multiply it. And because of that, to whom that was given, I'm going to give you more. I've given you a little bit. You've shown a demonstrated capacity with that little. You're gonna get more. And to whom the person that did nothing with the talents, those talents will be taken and given to those who show a demonstrated capacity that they can take their talents and do something with them. And I don't want that to be your kryptonite, is that you have a demonstrated capacity, but you're not doing anything with it. When I wrote the book Swag, guys, and I'll close with this one. Swag is about confidence. I believe it's the one thing that affects everything. All 7.5 billion people on the planet are affected by confidence. It is your greatest asset or it is your greatest liability. It is common during this time of season for some people to lose their mojo. It is common for other people to build momentum, which is energy headed in another direction. But I know within every person watching this show, you got to demonstrate a capacity. Will you be the person that takes those talents and multiplies them? Or will you be the person that takes the talent and hides it in 2017? You got a big future that's calling you, and your potential's calling. Don't send it to voicemail. Every single week I come into your life, to multiply money, and to multiply business. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. And thank goodness you let me be yours. Let's finish the year strong. Let's get the down and decompression that we need. And let's start the new year on fire. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. We'll see you at the Greatness Factory in 2017. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. Here's the question for you. Why do you need a coach? So many people don't understand why they need a coach. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you hit a ceiling in your life? You see, we're either dynamic and growing, we are plateaued and static, or we are entropic, which means we're dying. A good coach will come along at that ceiling of success and help you bust through that ceiling. New insight, new strategy, new energy. And here's the real deal. They'll hold you accountable to the good intention you have that you've been falling off the wagon. If you need a good coach, go to Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. Sign up today.